What's good? What's good? What's good, everybody? Let me get myself together. What's good, everybody, man? Tapping into another episode of the Arnold Styles Podcast, another live video. Just tapping in with you guys to give you guys an update on how I'm living. How I'm living out here in these overseas streets. These overseas streets is where I reside now. And today we're going to be talking about the dream versus the reality. The reality is everyone has this perception of what overseas basketball is really like. And I was just having a conversation with a couple of my guys that are on my team, a couple of my teammates, and we was just going over that. And we was like, man, everybody just expects that overseas basketball is just the life. You get all the people loving you. You get to live in these exotic places. You get to live by all this things that social media has led you to believe or what the life is really like. And it's just so far from the truth. It's so far from the truth that if you don't actually have real expectations of what's going to happen, you're going to be really struggling. And there's nothing worse than going overseas and then having to go back home early because you didn't take care of your business, because you didn't manage your money, because you didn't manage your circumstances. And this is coming from a guy that's been in the game for about 12 years. This is my 12th season now playing. So I would say I will have some level of knowledge of what's really going on, but I'm not immune to none of it. I'm not immune to the BS that happens on this. It's like it doesn't matter how long you've been in the game. The BS is still going to happen. It's still going to try to throw you off your pivot. It's still going to have you in certain circumstances that are going to suck, that are not going to be ideal, that are going to be detrimental, I would say, to your mental, to your just your overall way of thinking, because you would think one thing and then when you get here, it's not like that. Everyone goes overseas until they see what it really takes to survive there. From outside, it looks like a lot of money, travel, highlights, but the truth is different once you land, boy. Once you land into another country, and then they ain't got your Wi-Fi, they ain't got your room right, they ain't got no money for you to eat. You gotta have money for yourself for you to eat. When you get there, you thinking that, oh, when I get here, everything's gonna be taken care of. It's not always like that. I remember back when I used to make these segments called Keys to the Games, basically where I just break down different things that if you're starting out your career, you can just go watch. And it's like different little keys and topics and stuff that I talk about that you should have and what you should do before starting your overseas career. And one of them was no matter what country you go to, always have some cash on you that you can change just in case when you get there, something happens, you can manage it correctly. Because there's been plenty of times I got into a country and the team ain't had no money for me. They didn't have no food for me. They didn't have my room ready. They didn't have my situation straight. That's an occurrence that happens on the regular. It's not a it's not something that you think that, oh, they're waiting for me. So everything is going to be ready when I get there. No. It's like you get there and then they're starting to get everything. And it's like, how is that even possible? Why would I go to a new team, no Wi-Fi in the house, so I can't talk to nobody, I can't even communicate with you, no hot water in there, we didn't pay the gas because we were waiting for you to get here, and then we're going to pay the gas, so you're going to have to take a shower with cold water for like a week because we didn't pay the gas bill and you ain't gonna have no hot water for a while. We don't got your food money, so you're gonna have to feed yourself for maybe the next 2 3 days until we able to get your money up. And you'd be like, is this how it really is? Yes. Yes. Does anyone tell you that it's like that? No. No, they don't. They don't tell you that it's really like that. And it doesn't matter how many years you've been playing It's like that all across the board. It's like that from year 1 to year 12. The only difference is you just get better at managing it better. You just get better at managing it better. That's all it really is. Most players, here's the reality. Oh, here's the dream. Here's the myth of the dream of what people really think. People think overseas means big contracts and fast money. Fast money like a drug. You think this money. I literally just talking to my teammates. Getting paid once a month is just like, you think about it. If you're working at any convenience store, anywhere in the States, you're not getting paid once a month. You're getting paid every 2 weeks. Overseas basketball, 95% of the times, you're getting paid once a month. A month is a long time to just go without getting paid. Think about not getting paid for a month at a time. How long can you really go without getting paid? A month is too long. I got bills. I got kids. I got a life. I'm trying to do things. I want to eat good. Like, I'm supposed to wait a month every time? You know good and well, if you're waiting a month to get paid, you're already, and that's one of the things when it comes to like basketball, because it's like it's seasonal. Your contracts are seasonal. So I'll just give you just like a little breakdown for myself. Once I got done playing, I didn't play for another 3 months. 3 months. Think about what you would have made in 3 months worth of time. Can you sit out for 3 months without getting paid and still live a sustainable life? It's just not. It just doesn't make sense. 3 months with no work. I was watching online a guy that I follow. He went 6 months, 7 months. Oh, hell no. Forget all that. I can't, me personally, I can't go no 6 months. The agent that I had prior to this was trying to get me on a job like in December. 6 months with no pay. I don't know the person that can go 6 months without working. Me personally, like someone I personally know that say, you know what? I'm going to take 6 months off of work and don't work. Now, I don't know too many people like that. If you know somebody like that, you let me know. I don't know too many people like that I can just, hey, everybody's either getting up to go to work and this is a job. You have to go to work. And 90% of the time, you're getting paid every 2 weeks because you have life happens. Think about a whole month going by and nothing not happening that you're going to need money that you can't wait for. Living in America, it's too expensive. Prices are only going up. Inflation, all that is happening at a rapid pace. And when you're overseas, you get in certain situations. Like I could speak of like where I'm at right now. I'm in Uruguay, and it's so expensive. I swear this is like one of the most expensive countries I've ever been in. And I know I don't want to keep harping on it, but I just have to explain like the reality. I post on my stories. You see the beach. You see I'm in the sauna. I'm on the pool, on the rooftop, and everybody's gonna have this one perception of, man, that's where I'm trying to be at. I'm trying to be out there chilling on a Thursday afternoon on the pool deck, looking at the city. I got the sunset coming down. We got some foreigners over here laying on the deck with the buns out, suns out, buns out. You feel like I'm living the life. This is, man, this is, in reality, we're living in a dang near dorm type situation. You have to go downstairs and cook your food every single day with a bunch of random people you don't know. There's constant people coming out. Like, okay, 24, 25, maybe I wouldn't really care. 35, 36, hey, I need my own peace and tranquility. I'm not trying to be locked up in you, but these are things that you have to deal with, that you have to adjust to. Being inside of a room for 6, 7, 8 months at a time. You might as well call it your own little cell. Because that's what it's like. There ain't no space in here. You got to get out and move around. These are just the things that you don't see, unless someone like me just come in and tell you this is what it's really like. You get in a country like this where you literally will lose more money trying to live than you are making. Because once you're a professional basketball player, after a while, you just get adjusted to a certain type of lifestyle. You get to live more freely. Like you're used to people paying for your food. You're used to not paying lights, travel, internet, food. These things are normally covered. So if you think about it, if you're living in the States or wherever you're living at, and you just take out all those expenses, you're living pretty good. You got a lot of extra money to put in different areas or have fun with, I would say. I personally have, I wouldn't say graduated, but I personally understood like I wasted a lot of times not focusing on my finances because I was living this overseas basketball life. Overseas basketball life that everybody say that you should live, that is cool, that no one never really gave me the game to say, hey, if you take 10% of your money and put it in the S&P 500 since you were 24 years old, 10, 11 years right now, you'll probably be up $400,000, $500,000 because you let your money work for you. But all I know is go get a bag, go play basketball, run my money up, and then go come home and move like NBA players, EuroLeague players. I'm just gonna go work out. I'm not gonna go work. I'm not gonna do none of that. I'm gonna play the game all day. I'm gonna chill. I'm gonna go hit the gym. That's my job for the day. 2-3 months, you're back down to zero. You're back down to $2,000 in your account after just playing for 8-9 months. Spend the check, get it right back. Adjust to a lifestyle that's not sustainable. You get adjusted to a lifestyle that is not sustainable because no one is telling you the truth. They're not telling you the truth. They're not telling you need to manage your money. They're not telling you when you go home, you need to go find something that keeps the money flow coming in. Forget the concept of pro basketball player and think of the concept of life. I need to live. The allure of being a pro player loses its glory after a time. And real life settles in. You don't lose your love for the game, but you start understanding the business part more and you start understanding the structure part more. And I say this because I remember having a conversation with one of my best friends who's also been playing 12, 13 years as well. And he's caught up in that same situation. I would say that I've came to an understanding due to life, father passing away, that kind of just kicked me in the butt to say, hey, wake up. You might want to wake up. You might want to get your stuff together because the route that you're going is not sustainable. You're not going to be able to live like this for much longer. You're not going to be able to keep living this life like this for a long time. You might want to start doing something different with your life. You might need to start doing something that actually pays the bills when you're done playing. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's going on with my thing. This guy is tripping right now. That's just how it is. So, just bear with me. Hey, why does John want to trip out right when I want to use it? Right when I need to use it, it's tripping out. What is going on? I might have to end this live a little early, guys. Unfortunately, having technical issues. I'm feeling good, too. I'm trying to chop it up. Dang. And don't let me get started about that. Don't let me get started about that. Dang, man, what's going on, boy? It's about to make me mad. It's about to make me mad, y'all. This is what I'm talking about. In live action, live circumstances, situations going to happen. And you think, everything's going to be good. The internet's going to be good. This situation's going to be good. All this. And no, you're stuck in situations where things like this happen. Things start malfunctioning. You're not in a good place to record. In real time action, this is like just the lifestyle of things that's gonna happen. I can't make this up. And it's even worse. It's not worse, but it's different when you're overseas because you have to adjust in real time. Like almost in anything that you're trying to do, if you're not able to deal with like the BS that's coming along with it, you shouldn't be doing it. You don't deserve it. If you're not able to just maintain all the nonsense that comes with the life that you're pursuing, you don't deserve it. I don't deserve for this network to grow and be something if I can't deal with the inconveniences that come with it that people don't see. They only see the glitz and the glamour, just like in the basketball life. They only see the glitz and the glamour. They see you posting highlights. They see you pulling up for threes in transitions. They only see you dunking on somebody or you getting an and one. They only see you cheering happy after a game. They don't see when you go back home. They don't see when you go back to that room by yourself. They don't see when the coaches are planning to get rid of you on the sideline and they're talking about you. Nobody talk about that. Nobody talks about the player that knows this team is trying to get rid of me. That knows the coaches are sitting over there on the sideline looking at another player right now because they're looking for your replacement. But they still need you to play as if you're want to be there. Like they need you there. That they want you. And you have to deal with that because it's a business. And nobody talks about that part. Nobody talks about the point that most players live check to check. It's not about how much money you make, it's about how much you can keep, grow, and invest. That's what I believe. You can make money in this game because you can make money in a regular job. But it's all depends on what you do with that money. I remember one year I did well. I probably played like 2 years in a row. I won like a championship. I did the whole season. I had saved up some money, maybe like just probably savings wise. It was nothing crazy, but I was probably up to like 30,000, like just saved and accumulated. This is early, like midway through my career, which is very good. This is, because you're not counting what you're spending and living off of, just accumulated in my savings. I was out for 3 months. I think I got down to like $2,000. Just life. Life gonna start doing its thing. Life gonna start lifing. And you gotta adjust to that. Boy, life gonna start lifing. Life gonna start lifing. And I didn't have any structure or system to guide me to making the right decisions. Like it's all built off of a system. You have to have a system built up to not just sustain the life that you're in playing a professional sport, but the life that comes after this. There's a viral clip going online right now. Somebody sent it to me, and I seen it this morning already. But it's just a guy who was like, imagine being the one in your family that everybody thought was the savior. Because you're doing something that nobody else has ever done. You're playing a professional sport, so everybody automatically thinks, because you see the NBA, you see NFL, you see what these guys are making and the type of money. So they automatically have this perception in their mind, that's what you're doing as well. And then the guy is like, I used to be dunking on people and hitting threes. Now I'm wondering how I'm going to move this pallet. And you have to transition into another life. And a lot of guys go to that 10, 11 years, do that and have to go right to that life because you don't have a system intact. You didn't handle the situations when you were when you were overseas because no one really gave you the game. There is no one really giving out game on what you should be doing. Like I really come on here and be really just chopping it up with y'all for real, just from just the perspective of a guy that's been doing it for 12 years because I don't come here to preach to you guys or tell you what you should do. I'm just telling you what my circumstances and giving y'all my perspective of just, a person in my life, in my phase, trying to grow and try to better myself. And a part of it is creating and building something, because that gives me a sense of joy and passion of something bigger than myself. The thought came to me of what's missing and what I wish I had. And the only thing I could do is give that back, reciprocate that to someone who may pick up something from what I'm saying and it helps them, but it's all a part of my journey and my path that I had to go through. And it took some things from me, like I said, my father passing, for me to realize that. And it took a lot of soul searching and personal forthcoming to come to these changes in my life. Everybody has to kind of have that come to Jesus moment with yourself and say either something's going to change or or I'm going to be stuck here. And now for me, I was working at Walmart and I was just like, bro, something got to, I can never go back to this again. I can never go back to this type of life. I can never lose the opportunity to get out of the rat race, get out of the matrix, literally get out of the matrix of living a mediocre life when this basketball life is over with because I didn't handle business when I was here. And what do I mean by handling business? I mean by growing and building something that will give me this lifestyle when I'm done playing. Everybody talk about how to get on the play, but they never talk about the lifestyle after you play or during the play. The stuff that you got to deal with and just try to manage while you're playing. Like you're in a good league here. I'll use this league as an example. You're here playing in Uruguay. Probably getting paid decent money, average. Let's just say you're making $5,000 a month. Well, I'm going on me personally, we have to buy food here. You're spending anywhere between $25 to $35 a day on food if you calculate it. Because going to the grocery store, it's mad expensive. Going towards ordering food, it's mad expensive. Everything. I ordered a cup of coffee and it was $10. I'm a coffee drinker. So you do that enough, how much money are you spending? It all adds up. And you leave the season thinking, man, I thought I was able to make this much money. And then you realize how much money that you're spending on other things because of poor money management. And it's just a part of the learning experience of like, dang, I really got to manage my money the right way. Or I'm not really I'm leaving here with nothing, because you always got to be prepared for the next step. You can never, we were having a conversation about just how a team and an organization can show favoritism to one player and in the same sense, in the same breath, have another player right there and they mistreat them so bad. I had a guys that just was not gelling with the team. I seen them take their money. I seen them not get paid. I seen them take the money that they're supposed to pay them, use that to buy their ticket home, and they didn't even get the rest of their month. I seen contracts get voided. I see guys not get paid 2, 3, 4 months at a time. There's a clip from a video, not a video, one of a guy that I just recently started following on Instagram, on TikTok, named Caleb Hunter. I believe bro name is Caleb Hunter. And he posts about the overseas, Caleb Hunter. He posted about overseas life, and he posted recently his first time in Iraq. He just posted about his first time in Iraq, and he was explaining what it was like. And he showed the pictures. Jeez. See, this is what people don't understand. He showed the pictures of his first time going to Iraq because he was home for like 8 months. He's just looking for an opportunity. Jesus. I want to find the pictures that he posted of his time in Iraq, and if you see the absolute disgusting nature of the way they had him living. Caleb Hunter, go look him up on TikTok, go follow him, and he will show you just the debauchery, the debauchery of what they will put you in. What they will actually put you in, like the situations they will actually put you in. It was so disgusting. Like, look at this. Look at the toilet. Jesus. Look at the toilet. If you're on the audio, you can't see it. You're going to have to go on the live and watch the video version to see. Look at the toilet. This is the... Look at this joint. Look at the situation. This is what they have him living in. This is jail. This looks like a jail cell. He's on a cottage. Not a bed, but literally a cottage. You want to play basketball, right? Let me go back to the bath. Oh, this is no way. Oh, this is making me sick just to think about it. Look at this. Somebody come look at this. You ready for that? Are you ready for that? You want to play the game, right? I ain't even gonna lie. Just seeing that make me want to throw up. Just seeing that makes me want to throw up, because it's like, that is diabolical. To think that a person will willingly go to someplace like that. Let's get back to some of the realities. Most guys live paycheck to paycheck. Why? Lack of money management. Lack of reality, understanding reality. As basketball players, we can live in a false sense of reality as well. One, you just act as if life don't happen. One injury can deter your whole career. Then what? One injury, one mishap can deter everything. Then what do you fall back on? Me personally, am not going back to that life. I made it up in my mind. I'm never going back to that. The only time I'll go back to working at a Walmart is if I own one. I'm not doing that, because I understand every time I go back home from playing a season, I understand the reality of what life is really like. Another reality of playing overseas, some teams pay late, some don't pay at all. Like I said, two of the guys on my team, this happened twice in the same season. Two of the guys on my team, one, he said, this isn't working, I want to get released. They took his money, didn't pay him, used it to pay for his ticket, so he didn't get no money, and they paid for his ticket. What the money he's supposed to get, they used it to pay his ticket. And he was like, I never said that. I've never even heard of something like that. That's just pure misabuse of power. What are you going to do about it? That's basically want to say what you're going to do about it. Teams to look you dead in your face and say, what you going to do about it? You can't do nothing. You want to go to court over this couple $1,000, $500, whatever it is that they owe you? We'll take our chances. Another guy, they owed probably like $2,500. Used that to pay for his ticket. Didn't pay him out. Matter of fact, I don't even think they paid for his ticket home. He had to pay for his own ticket home. They just kept delaying them and making them wait. That's the reality. Sometimes you just don't get paid. Sometimes it's be 3-4 months. Now we talked about a month. We're talking about getting paid every 2 weeks. What do you do when you're actively working and have not gotten paid 2-3 months? You might be living in a small apartment with spotty Wi-Fi. This Wi-Fi here is terrible. You talking about trying to record, go live, update, be a content creator, and work with terrible Wi-Fi? For all my content creators and people who you can't. I bought okay. So I bought 2K. I bought 2K to finally start playing again because I haven't been playing the game in years. And the reason I haven't been playing the game in like 3-4 years, I quit playing the game when I go overseas. I quit playing the game. I stopped watching TV. I stopped watching movies. I stopped watching Netflix. I stopped watching all these things because I wanted to, well, like I said, I've done all that. I need to focus on the next part of my life. And a part of that is just like sitting down and creating a system and a plan. I had to be real with myself. I have to sit down and come up with a system and a plan for when this life is over with, or I'm going to just go back to the same life that I was living before. When I got done, I got a taste of that. COVID happened. Everybody had to go home. I got a taste of going home and sitting down and realizing that I need to get some money coming in. And if I don't have money coming in from somewhere else, I have to revert back to this. I'm not reverting back to that anymore. It was a blessing in disguise for that to happen, for you to come to a realization of what you don't want. At least for me, that's not what I wanted for my life. So I had to make a decision to, not because I didn't want it to happen, I had to make a decision of what I'm going to do so it doesn't happen again. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't happen. That's the reality. You know, you learn fast that money doesn't equal peace. You learn fast that not getting enough money ain't gonna equal peace. But there ain't nothing like worrying about your paycheck and trying to play and worried about a team trying to get rid of you all at the same time. You're living in a bad apartment, they're late with your payment, and they're trying to replace you. Think about all that at the same time in the middle of the season where they're not currently hiring players at that certain time, because there are dead periods where teams already signed, they're already full into their season. There aren't too many guys that they're looking for that are available, and the ones that are available, teams are rocking already. They're not trying to get rid of people. They're in the middle of the season. So, and if you're a replacement, you might not be the ones that are getting replaced with. You feel me? You're not the one that is always getting replaced with. Some of the lifestyles and the food, the difference. You know, people say you travel the world to get good food, and live lavish. People imagine fine dining and tourist life. You're living life. People call it's a tourist life, like this perfect example, this city. It's a tourist attraction. So you're going to get taxed like tourists. Tourists come to cities and countries and they get taxed. What if you have to live there and you're not accustomed to that? That's like someone living in like South Carolina and then they go move to LA. I'm not accustomed to this type of living. The expenses far exceed what I'm accustomed to. And most players aren't making $10,000 a month. Most players aren't making $5,000 a month. Don't let social media and these people fool you. A lot of players aren't making $5,000 a month. A lot of times, you know, sometimes, what if you're in a country where the food sucks? You miss home cooked meals, you struggle to adjust to new foods, and sometimes teams' meals are like prison trays. In Argentina, they're going to serve you, Jesus, milanesa to death. If you know about milanesa, you've been to Argentina. They're going to give you the same thing over and over and over and over. I remember when I was in Chile, I was on my pescatarian wave, meaning like I only ate fish. I didn't eat anything else. I didn't eat any other type of meat products. I wasn't eating cheese and eggs. I was just strictly fish products because I was trying a new healthy wave. So that was my food of choice. That was my food of choice, was just being a pescatarian. And we had a cook, didn't know anything about, they didn't even eat fish out there like that. They weren't accustomed to cooking fish. I was getting fed tuna out the can and mashed potatoes every day because They didn't know what to feed me. I lost probably like 20 pounds that season. I'm trying to stick to my diet and my regiment, and we have a cook. So it's like, well, then I'm gonna have to bite the bullet and start feeding myself and paying for food and doing all that myself when you got someone free giving you food, but they don't know what you eat. They don't know what you cook, and they have their own life. They're not trying to just cater to you. It ain't like you got a 5-star chef that like, oh, I want this and that and that. No, we're gonna cook you what we're gonna cook you. One time they gave us tuna. I've never in my life even heard of nothing like this. Tuna pancakes. Tuna pancakes. Tuna infused in a pancake styled patty for a dinner. Tuna in pancake form for dinner. Where does that idea even come up? That would actually be appetizing. Ooh, this is going to be good. Let me get some tuna. That pancake tuna. Fire. Man, stop it. What are you talking about? I know, here's a little hack. I said that on one of the other episodes of Keys to the Game. Bring you some seasoning salt. I'm from the island. I'm from the Caribbean. I bring me seasoning salt everywhere, and that has changed. That has changed a lot in my career, because when you go overseas, a lot of times they don't put seasoning on food. You don't always blessed to be in good places like Thailand. That's a different story. Their food is fire. They season that boy up amazingly. But if you go into some other like Uruguay, I'm here. They don't put seasoning on their food. Argentina, they don't put seasoning on their food. Chile, they don't put seasoning. They put some salt. They're gonna salt you to death. I don't want that bland chicken. I'm gonna get some dry bland chicken. I gotta dip it in some water because it's too dry. You know, I want none of that. Learning to cook for yourself. I remember one season, I think it was COVID, so nobody was really going out, and I had my manager's wife, who was pregnant at the time, trying to cook me food. She would literally just cook spaghetti and chicken breast. And I was like, I can't do this anymore. Just give me the money. I'm going to go shopping. And I was on YouTube every week figuring out a new food to cook. And that's when I really got on my food cooking wave. And I've been on that because it's like, bro, I'd rather cook for myself. I'd rather get the money and cook for myself and take care of myself. Now I got to be in a situation where people are trying to feed me. You're not feeding me what I want to eat. I can't adjust. I'm not trying to adjust to your bland chicken that ain't got no seasoning on it, bro. I don't want no chicken. I don't want no tuna pancakes. Ugh. Just the thought of remembering that is terrible. This is terrible, man. Communication. You know, a lot of these topics is a lot of what I talk about in my book. If you guys want to check out my book, 6 Must-Have Traits to Become an Overseas Basketball Player. A lot of these things I talk about, the reality of how things is, how you can adjust to them, how you can really manage these situations. I really break it down, because if you don't understand, like, these have nothing to do with, like, for the most part, basketball wise. These have everything to do with the surrounding nature of basketball. Like, no one prepares you for the things off the court, living, communication, networking, the other things that are what really holds up your career. And that's what I put into the book, things that really uphold your career, that you can actually have a sustainable career over a long time. Because no one's talking about the straps that hold your, you have your core things that you're trying to focus on. You're trying to make sure that you're getting good contracts, being in good leagues, finding a good agent, and things like that. Well, what about your peace of mind? Some agents will put you in teams just for the money, and then you be like Buddy and living in a freaking jail cell. Oh, you seen the toilet? What is that? Like that? You want to come here and play? These are the type of situation. Nobody's telling you how you even deal with that. Like that's the type of opportunity you ready to take that type of opportunity? Are you ready for that? I'm telling you right now, I'm not. I'm not. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Ain't no way. Ain't no way, bro. Ain't no ain't no way. So, you know, language, communication, these are some of the things you're gonna have to deal with as well. These are certain aspects of the game that you're gonna have to deal with. I'm in South America. Yo puedo hablar español, más o menos, yo entender mucho, porque yo estaba aquí por muchos años, yo puedo hablar en español con mis amigos, con otra gente, con mi equipo, con mi entrenador. En ese ayuda mucho porque yo puedo comunicar en un nivel personal con como una persona, no solo como jugador. Basically, what I'm saying, I can communicate with my teammates as a human, as a person, more than just basketball. And when you get to know people love to work with people they like. How much easier is it to like a person that speaks your language? You speaking my language. You always gonna like a person that's speaking your language. We had a game, we lost a game. I'm not even gonna get into the whole recap of the game of us losing the game, but afterwards, in this team, when we lose, we're gonna have a freaking 2-hour talk as a unit. As soon as we lost the game, that's all I could think about. Oh my God, we're gonna sit here and talk forever. I can't stand that. That reminds me of college. My coach used to just talk hour and a half after a loss. And it's just like, bro, we're still trying to build something new here. We're still trying to grow together. It's going to take a little bit of time. It doesn't take 2 hours to talk. I don't need to hear about every one of my teammates' reasoning for why we're losing, or we're 2-2. We're 500. Yes. Are you gonna be amazing and be the number one team off the jump? Thank God we're 2-2. And it's early in the season. If we were 0-4, understandable. We're right there. We're still right there in the middle of the pack. There's a lot left to play. Don't panic. Anyways, it got to me, and immediately my coach is like, in Spanish, please. But it's only 3 imports. So only 3 of us speak English fluently, like our native tongue. And everybody else, their native tongue is what? Spanish. So to be able to communicate to the masses how you feel in their language goes a long way. Goes a long way. It pays dividends to the life that you are trying to build in the intangible ways. Just me understanding and learning Spanish creates a sense of comfort in the people that you're talking to, because you are able to communicate to them in a way that they understand. You're getting outside of yourself and not putting yourself as the main protagonist of your life, and really being humble enough to go in someone else's, literally their home, their country, and respecting their origin by just speaking their language. It goes so far. Man, it goes so far, because a lot of times, most teams or most players, they go into countries and they can't speak the language. So there's this barrier that they have. You build up with your coach, you build up with your teammates, and you try to be cool with them and stuff like that. But it's still a certain language barrier that's kind of holding you back. It holds you back in the sense that you can never really fully grow with a person, because you can't speak with them. You can't communicate with them. There's only so far you can go. And that's how miscommunication happens. Some things that I could say as an import and as a basketball player from America, I can't express that to some Uruguayans. They're just not going to understand it, because they don't come from my culture. They don't come from my background. They don't come from how I'm used to living. But I'm not in my element. I'm in a whole other I'm in a whole other country. I'm hundreds of thousands of miles away from where I grew up in my culture and stuff like that. So it's getting up outside of your yourself to obtain something bigger, to grow in different aspects. You know, that's a part of just the reality. You have to get outside of yourself because you will start to pick up on the nuances of how people really are once you understand the language and what they're saying and how they say it. As I was stating before, but even in that, even in saying that, even in knowing that, I cannot get comfortable to think, oh, just because I can speak your language and we're cool and you like me, that I can get comfortable, that my job is secure, that they are going to rock with me the entire season. Never get too comfortable in this game. Never never slip up. Everybody's going to have a bad game. Everybody's going to have bad moments where you're just in a slump. That's life. But you, as an individual, as a player, must do everything in your power to limit the loss or limit the downturns that you're having in your career or in your moment at all times, because teams, I feel, are in a constant speculation and scheming process. It's just the nature of the game. They'll look, the player that I had on my team, I'm watching them completely say, you know what, we're not going to pay you. We're not going to pay you your flight home. If you're willing to do that to him, what makes me different? I didn't walk out of practice, so I don't get that type of treatment, which shows a lot of respect and like as you are, but still, you get terminated, but you don't get paid. I still worked for 2-3 weeks. So you're just voiding my check? That's not in the contract. I had coaches talk to me about other players before a game, about bringing in other players. Now, if they're willing to do that to another player that I'm currently playing with, you don't think they'll do that to you? I don't care what situation I'm in. I don't care if I'm in Chile, where I've played for 7 years, have had a great career, been called a legendary, this and that. You can never get too comfortable. You can never get too comfortable. You can never just say, you know what, I'm straight and I'm good, and not come to perform every single night and not really be on your game and on point. And that's just a self-fulfilling prophecy that every player must go through on their own. And understand that. You must understand that, hey, yo, you got to be on point. And in the meeting, it's crazy because in the meeting when we were talking, it came to my point. I was literally the last person to speak. And I said it. I said to my teammates, I was like, we don't live the same life. We're talking about wins and losses and things like that, and what we have to do to be better. But the reality is, foreigners and import players don't live the same life as the locals because you live here. You're not going to get fired. They need you to have a season. I'm expendable. I don't care how many times you look in my face and smile and like me and laugh with me. I am expendable at any moment. At any moment. Good, bad, indifferent. One of the GMs, one of the management might just say, you know what? I don't really like this player no more. Get rid of him. I don't think he fit what we're trying to do. Get rid of him. You might be gelling. I give this example about this story about last time I was playing in this country 9 years ago. I was leading my team in scoring. I was top 5 in the league. We was first place in the first half of the year. And that's in this league, you want to get to, you have like a standing. So if you make it in the top 6, you're automatically in the playoffs. So everybody's fighting for that top 6 spot from the jump. We was in first place, leading our team in scoring, leading the league in scoring, no, top 5 in the league in scoring, first place in the league, got fired. And this is after having a meeting with the coach and telling him, hey, I felt like maybe, because every basketball player has that feeling of when they're going to get cut. It's just like a natural gut feeling that everybody has. And I knew something was up. And my ex-wife at the time, who's with me, she's from Colombia. She speaks Spanish, and she heard them on the broadcasters talking. Normally, when it's in the air and it's being talked about and it's floating around, about 95, 99% of the time it's going to happen because it's just the energy is in the air and it's floating around and things like that, you know. And I went and had a conversation with the coach. Hey, listen, no hard feelings. Whatever you want to do, we can just part ways. We can do this. No, 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 no. We good. We need you. Da da da. Stay locked in. We need you. The team needs you. Da da da. They used me. I started, in my mind. Oh, okay, cool. I calmed down. I started balling. 18, 26, 38. You know, went on a little streak where I just started putting up numbers because I got in the rhythm. I'm feeling like, oh, okay, I'm good. I took that stress off of me. First half over with. Called me into the after a game. We got a win, won by 20. Called me in right after the game. We're gonna go another direction. We're gonna fire you. Ain't no love in this game. It's only you preparing yourself and you understanding what you're getting yourself into and how you can adjust and modify and get the most out of this game. There's so much intangibles that comes with it, but there's a real high false perception of what's being painted on social media and the news or outlets of how guys live and what the aspirations of what it is. And I just try to give you a real humane perspective from a guy who is just currently in it, who's living in it, who's trying to just find my niche, find my way, make up for lost time. There is no making up for lost time. There's only time that's passed and time that it is what it is and what I've learned from there and what I can adjust and apply moving forward. And part of that process is me just expressing where I'm at in the journey, just expressing the journey. A lot of times there ain't really nothing to teach, but experience of what you went through. People learn from the experience. Like, hey, I did this, and that. I done that. This is what helped me here. This is what helped me there. And a lot of times you just get that from just hearing someone speaking. You just get it from someone speaking. And there's a lot of other stuff we can go into, but I'm tired. And I'm gonna go hit the weight room. I'm gonna go get a little extra workout in. Today is our supposedly day off. There is no days off. Do a little bit extra every single day on something, whether that's stretching, whether that's studying, whether that's hitting the weight room, whether that's getting some extra shots up, whether that's meditating, whatever that is. Don't ever adopt the mind. Like even this coming on here and doing this program, this is for me, this putting in work. My back is killing me. My neck is killing me. Holding this phone, this malfunctioning, da da da. What do you want? You have a choice. Everyone has a choice in life to deal with the nonsense and understand that it is necessary to build that foundation through the turmoils, through the inconsistencies of mishaps that's going to happen inevitably, to accept them, to move forward with them, to use them as the seeds in the ground that will ultimately build you the garden that bears fruit and pays dividends to the life that you choose to live for yourself, for your family, for your aspirations. It's all a decision that we all choose to make day in and day out. Everyone has the decision to make to live what you believe is the dream. This is the dream if you decide to put the right steps and build the right foundation to make this end. Once you build that foundation, once you get your other parts of your life, you get your spirit right, you get your mindset, you understand this is a business, you understand your system, you start building towards the life after this while still in it. And it just changes the whole, it just is a whole course correction that you realize that, you know what, you're no longer just playing to get nothing out of it, but you actually have something that you can leave the game with more than just a good time. but a real foundation that you can build for yourself. And that's all I got, man. That's all I got for this segment today. That's all. I just want to come and chop in and just stick to my own words and still, hey, man, I'm going through it. I go through it myself. And like, not everything I do is with great joy and great passion all the time. Yay, I got to record and set up and deal with bad Wi-Fi and deal with this and get practice no. But it's just a decision that we all make. It's a decision to take to manage your money. It's a decision to build a system for yourself when you're not playing. It's a decision for yourself to learn your communication and understanding circumstances and being disciplined in your finances and your life off the court so it doesn't affect your life on the court and it doesn't affect your life when you get done playing or when you get done with a season. These are all just many micro decisions that are the butterfly effect that will affect your life many, many years to come after you're done playing and further down the line of when you are playing. Listen, that's all I got. Remember, greatness is a habit, not a right. I'll holler at you guys next time. I'm out.